Today I want to talk about something tender, something important, and something that might change the way you look at the rest of your day. It's this truth. You never know when a moment is the last time. Now, before you panic and think I'm here to depress you, absolutely not. Well, you know me, I always try to find the humor and a positive side in things. But this truth has a way of reshaping us, not with fear, but with gratitude, with softness, with presence, with noticing, well, because moments, those ordinary, everyday ones, don't wave a big red flag when they're about to disappear. They just quietly become memories. And we only realize much later, oh, that was the last time. Let me give you an example. One day you pick up your child and you don't know if it's the last time you'll ever carry them. You just stop doing it. Well, because suddenly they're too big or too cool or too busy. Or maybe one afternoon you visit your parents and you don't know if that's the last time, they'll answer the door with that huge smile that says they're so happy to see you. Maybe the last time you held a friend's hand or even walked your dog, down your favorite path, or danced in the kitchen just because the radio was playing, your favorite song. You didn't know it was the last. Life doesn't give warnings, but it does give moments. And moments, they're all we get. We talk about big last times, last day of work, last day home, in the home we lived in, with the kids, last anniversary with someone we loved. But the ordinary last times, those hit the hardest. The last time I used a rotary phone, oh, that was a long time ago. The last time I bent down without calculating the recovery time. The last time I stood up from a chair without making that involuntary senior sound. You know the one. Oh, the last time I walked out of the house without checking to see if everything still worked. Knees, hips, memory, sense of direction, debit card, and yes, even my glasses. We laugh, but those tiny transitions matter. They're the threads that stitch a life together. And here's the real magic. Once we realize moments, they're temporary, we start treating them like treasures. There comes a time, somewhere after 60, well, maybe even before, maybe after a good cup of tea and a few life lessons, when you start noticing things differently. You hear the birds differently. You enjoy your morning coffee differently. You look at people you love and think, I want to remember this, just this, exactly as it is right now. You even appreciate the annoying things, the spouse who turns up the TV too loud, the friend who retells that same story for the 47th time, the dog who drools on everything except its water bowl, because somewhere inside, one day you'll wish for ordinary again. One day you'll think, I'd give anything to hear that voice or that laugh or that silly story just once more. And this is why appreciating moments isn't sad. It's sacred. It's an invitation to pay attention. Why do we miss the moments? We miss last times because We're rushed, or we're distracted, or we assume the future, it'll always be there and resemble the present. We think, I'll have more time next week. I'll visit later. I'll say something when the moment feels right. But life is a shapeshifter. It changes without permission, sometimes beautifully, sometimes abruptly, and often we look back and think, if I had known, I would have been more there, more present, more grateful. But here's the beautiful twist. We can start now, right now, today, learning to love the moment. Love the moment you're in. Let me share something simple with you, a little life tool, my style. Think of 3 ordinary things from today, not big things, tiny ones. The smell of freshly cut grass, well, there's snow out there now, but the sun on your face when you open the door, and the birds are excitedly chirping away. The neighbor waving from across the street, your favorite chair, your body cooperating long enough for you to put on your socks without needing a support team. Now imagine gently that one day this might be a memory. And suddenly that small, ordinary thing becomes precious. This isn't sadness. This is presence. It's love disguised as attention. One of the real surprises of aging is that you often don't know the last time you felt like your old self, because your new self quietly replaces them. The first time I was pooped at 9 p.m. and went to bed at 9 p.m. every night after that. A mourning period. The last time I could sit cross-legged on the floor. A national holiday should have been declared then. The last time I could memorize lyrics to a song without the help of divine intervention. But here's the thing. Every new version of us brings new joys too, new strengths, new stories, new freedoms. Yes, some doors close, but some of the best ones open at this age. Like the door marked, I no longer care what other people think. I'll wear purple leggings if I want to, or stay in my jammies all day. Or the door marked, grand adventures start right after my afternoon nap. Or my favorite, I'm too old for this nonsense, but not too old for, a mischief adventure. Why this lesson matters now? Well, because after 60, after retirement, widowhood, divorce, heartbreak, reinvention, life becomes a series of moments. You don't want to sleepwalk through. We've earned the wisdom. We've learned the hard lessons. We've cried enough, survived enough, and laughed enough to know one thing: moments matter. Conversations matter. Connections matter. Stillness matters. Your presence matters. This stage isn't about rushing. It's about noticing. And the more we notice, the richer life becomes. I always at least try to look for the humor in things, as I can't seem to stay serious, it seems, for more than a minute without breaking out in a grin. There are funny last times too, The last time I could read the microwave buttons without my bifocals. Hey, I put little bright red stickers on the wee buttons and wrote letters in black to help me know the function of each little button. Save squinting or hunting for my lost glasses. And the last time I tried to fix something around the house without searching on YouTube. The last time I got down on the floor without wondering who would help me get up. The last time a stranger thought, well, I was too young for the senior discount. Well, that one still stings a bit as I'm still waiting. Never had that. But even these are part of the story. They're the chapters that help us laugh years from now. Become the kind of person who notices. This is the entire point of today's message. When you realize moments are fleeting, you become more alive in them. You become softer, kinder, more patient, more forgiving, and a whole lot more grateful. Suddenly, when someone hugs you, you hold on a little longer. When someone calls you, you really listen. When someone enters your life, you let yourself love them, even if it's briefly, even if it's imperfect, even if life is messy. Because you know what? Messy moments count too, especially those. A beautiful shift in how we live, don't you think? Imagine living every day with this small intention. If this were the last time, how would I show up? Not in a fearful way, in a loving way. If this were the last time I saw this sunset, had this conversation, saw my loved ones, heard this laugh, sat in this chair with my morning coffee. I drink a lot of coffee, right? Would I pay attention differently? Would I appreciate it more? Would I slow down, soften, savor? Probably. And that's the whole lesson. The gift of awareness. This isn't a message about loss. It's a message about love, about noticing life's beauty before it slips away into memory. We can't control the last times, but we can absolutely treasure this times. The moments right here, right now. And I'm here in the videos to remind you. Life gets richer when you realize nothing is guaranteed, which means everything is precious, even the messy parts, especially the everyday parts. Those are the pieces that make up a life. So today, I invite you to look around. I mean, really look. Take a breath. Notice something small. Hold someone closer. Laugh a little louder. Be present for your own life. Say love ya to your friends instead of goodbye. Because you never know when a moment is the last time. And if that sounds bittersweet, it's only because your heart knows how deeply you care. And oh yes, it's me, Lizzie here, still behind my bifocals, still learning as I go and still discovering that life has a sneaky little habit of surprising us, even after 60, 70, 80 and beyond. I'll leave you now to ponder the thoughts in this video. I hope to see you in the next adventure. Until then, become aware. Life is whispering, and it's beautiful. So with that, I will say, when we first meet, we will be strangers. But after a bit, I hope we can become friends. Meanwhile, take care, keep smiling, love ya. Until the next time, bye for now.